What up? I'm Brian Alexander Morgan, and you're watching We Sound Crazy. Rain wouldn't have happened without Lalah.
Lalah Hathaway?
Let's go back. So I'm going through her vinyl, and I pull out this one vinyl, and it's Jaco. I said, what is that? She said, oh, that's Jaco. You don't know. You ain't hip to Jaco. What? So we put it on, and when it gets to Portrait of Tracy,
yes,
I got the chills. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, my God. I was like, if I ever use that, that's going to be crazy. And I just put it to the side, and we went about our business. She came to Sacramento. We recorded Let Me Love You. Forgot all about it. 3 years later.
Yo, the way you just strung Lalah to Brandy to SWV and Rain just blew my mind.
This is how it happened.
Welcome to another week of We Sound Crazy, your official backstage pass to all things music and culture. I am Phillionaire, music, TV, film extraordinaire.
What's good, y'all? It's Claude Kelly, hit singer, songwriter, and one half of the band Louis York with this guy over here.
What up? It's Chuck Harmony. I'm a songwriter and producer in the other half of Louis York.
What up, Crazy Crew? It's Bacon from Macon, music exec, and your true music aficionado.
Today on We Sound Crazy, we're sitting with one of the true architects of pop and R&B, a songwriter and a producer who didn't just make hits, but helped define the emotional language of an entire era.
Yes, sir.
From Wichita to shaping the sound, texture, and vulnerability of R&B, his work continues to resonate across generations. This is the story, the sound, the legacy of Brian Alexander Morgan. Make some noise.
That's right.
Wow.
Listen,
Thank you.
it's about time.
It's
Pun
about
intended.
time.
Pun intended. You feel me? It's about damn
Thank
time.
you guys. I'm so honored to be here, man.
Yeah, man.
Phil knows I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I just wasn't going to fly to New York ever.
The funny thing about it is that this show started with the four of us just hanging with a drink in hand, talking about music. And from the inception, you're one of the producers and sounds we've talked about probably the most.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, man. Like we've been referring to your sound and your influence and talking about you getting your flowers since the very beginning.
Oh, wow.
Literally, we were with L.A. Reid days ago, and you came up at the top of the conversation.
Really?
Yes. He was just saying, like, what was he listening to SWV?
Yes,
Like,
yes.
He was just like, and he was kind of comparing, like, well, whose record's standing up better? Is it SWV or TLC's? And it was a real conversation.
With the man.
Right,
Yes.
yeah.
And
Good job.
and you'd be surprised by his answer was very complimentary to.
Yes.
Holy crap.
No, no.
Serious?
This was days ago.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. And I don't even know what to say to that. That's crazy. We sound crazy.
Yeah.
We definitely sound crazy. But we're going to give you your flowers and dig into these records because they are iconic.
Absolutely.
But let's start with something a little different because there are fans that love you far and wide, and they've sent in some questions that they want to ask the great Brian Alexander Morgan. Let's start with the Crazy Crew questions, if you will.
Yes.
Can we do that?
Let's do it.
All right, so what's one Brian Alexander Morgan song you wish fans talked about as much as Week or Rain, but always gets overlooked?
Bigger Than We, but it's Coco's solo joint, but it's Bigger Than We. Because I feel like in the moment that I wrote that, we were in the throes of a very materialistic time. And I just wanted to remind people that the things that are more important are usually free. And we couldn't live our lives without them. So Bigger Than We.
Can I put my answer? I know they didn't ask me, but Fine Time.
Fine Time.
Yeah. That's a special one too, for sure. For sure.
Okay. Next question.
When you hear your song sampled by a new generation, do you ever feel like they got it exactly right? Or do you sometimes wish they understood the original a little deeper?
I feel like it's relevant to whatever they're trying to do for their audience. So I don't really judge it. I'm just glad they chose me. So as long as it's like dope, I'm good.
As long as it's dope.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah. If it just can't be whack. Like other than that.
Right, we good.
I'm good. Glad they chose me. Like right now, there's a joint out right now that just came out last month on this group, K-pop girl group called Girl Set. They're using Week. It's called Tweak. It's cool.
Week.
Tweak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody check that out. It's going crazy on YouTube right now.
Run the numbers up.
Yes.
Let's go to the next question.
So what's one thing about your songwriting or production process that fans would be surprised to learn if they were actually in the studio with you?
That I really do listen to my inner Stevie when I'm writing lyrics. I was always taught or learned from Stevie that less is more. So in a lot of today's records, there's so many words, I'm exhausted. I don't want to sing it. It's too many words. So I feel like if you can say the most with the least amount of words, it's always more effective.
That is a songwriting gem.
Yeah.
Less is more is always the biggest rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've learned that from Stevie. Just like,
who's the master?
yeah, that's a key thing to me. I get it. It's people like to, a lot of today's stuff has a lot of more conversational stuff. Like it's a conversation almost.
Yeah.
I feel like when a song is happening, it's not just a conversation. It's a kind of a what's the word? When it's almost like a review. Here's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Here's why. And then if you got a chorus, this is the most important thing in it. And then you in and out of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's an art form within itself that I feel like takes years and years and a lifetime really to master, is to be able to summarize an emotion and make it
right.
Yeah, poetry.
Right. One of my favorite ones of today that did it really well was the Bruno and Anderson .Paak joint, Leave the Door
Open.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
That's
my
fine.
God.
Great song.
That
Great
one right
song.
there.
That's one.
Was to me what songwriting is all about.
Yeah.
They get that message in there. That theme is strong, and when you hit it, it's amazing.
Yeah.
We got another question.
What's one thing you believed about the music business when you were first starting out that now, after seeing how it really works behind the scenes, sounds completely crazy to you?
How we value music itself. How it's been devalued. Can't say enough of how much it's been devalued, and that's a problem. That's a huge problem. So in today's world, I'm all about direct to consumer because now it's so fragmented that there's no way you can have an SWV at the same time as Nirvana, at the same time as Dre, at the same time as all those things, Garth Brooks. All those things were huge at the same time in a very big way because people were measuring the sales of those things the same way.
Yeah.
With the same measurement. It's just not the case anymore. So it's changed how people view the whole industry.
Yeah.
I feel like one of the biggest heartbreaks of this business when you love music is to realize that everyone doesn't love music.
Right. That's another thing.
You know what I mean?
Passion of it, yeah.
I was like, oh, y'all don't really care about this like I care about this.
And that gets into even from the basics of the tracks themselves. Once everybody could do it on a laptop, now what? And so now, do you value vocal production? Do you value sonics? The things that I fell in love with Tribe Called Quest because of the sonics.
Right.
Because of Bob Power, rest in peace. People like that who cared enough to make it be so incredible for you to experience it that they took the time to do the things that make you feel it. Same thing with Missy and Tim stuff. The sonics made you go, this is making me feel a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just those things. So now when everything's crunched down to an MP3 and you're listening to it on your phone and you just don't have what was passion to me. When I put on those headphones in 1979 when I was 13 and heard Off the Wall, I was transported. His backgrounds on Rock With You, are you kidding me?
Still
the mix,
still the standard.
The sonics, the things that Quincy talked, and those are the things I learned from Quincy. So if you hear my stuff, you hear Always on My Mind. Those things are layered because of Jimmy and Terry taught me when I heard those SOS Bands records. Listen to these. Tell Me, Do You Still Care? Are you kidding me?
One of the best songs. Oh my God, bro.
Like this is before Janet.
Yeah.
So like they were laying down the foundation of and they learned it from Leon Silvers, and I love the Shalimar records. So every progression of things that I care about have to do with the passion that
first.
people, and I know Leon himself, he's an amazing, passionate person about, and that's why Shalimar's vocals sound like that. The pianos, how they were mixed, the EQ.
Yes, sir.
You played Night to Remember right now. The mixes, it's incredible.
Crazy.
So I just think I stay passionate about that, and being a DJ helps me do that because you have to care what's happening and what people are listening to and why.
As it relates to sonics, are you still using the programs that you used back in the day, or are you using new stuff like Ableton?
I've been an Ableton user for a decade now.
Really?
DJ Khalil turned me onto it, and I'm never going back. But that's, again, it's a tool. How I still play my keys and how I put it down is the thing. And then I'll sample it, because I was always using MPC, sampling and chopping. That was what made me different from, say, Jimmy and Terry or Teddy or everybody else. I was chopping my stuff. I'm just going to use the best example of it. Doing it very early, more hip-hop style production, but still, I'm a player, though.
Yeah.
So I would play my own stuff and then chop myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting the best of both worlds.
So are you software synth? Are you?
I'm both. A little bit of both.
Yeah,
Always a little bit of both.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do nothing without Splice right now, in today's world.
Splice is,
because it's like.
And what's crazy about Splice is back in the day, and I know you know this, we used to have to go through hell to find sounds, like drum sounds, and now you can just type it in, and it's like millions of drum sounds.
But the thing I don't fall into a trap of was Splice, because you know that everybody else has access to those same sounds, right? So I'll never take something from Splice the way that it is.
Me either. I
always take it and be like, now what am I going to do with that? And how am I going to flip that?
I feel like I'm getting a master class on producing over here. I'm sitting over here like,
no,
this wasn't the best. I got to ask.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Yeah. So I love today's new tools. It's just how you use them.
Yeah.
Let's go back a little bit. And Tamone and I were talking about just the beginning. It's Wichita, Kansas to Sacramento. Right?
The two most unlikely places to ever have anything successful musically happen.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And just like, what's the journey from place of birth to Sacramento, where we understand the music starts to really kind of grow and you become who you are in your first band? Like, what are the makings of Brian Alexander Morgan?
Starts in a church, like it usually does for most people like me. When you learn that music can be made by sitting on an instrument, and then these big sounds can come from it, and then people are singing along with it, and then people in the audience are getting emotional. That's very, very enticing. You're like, whoa, I want to do that, you know? And then the person that in my church that was doing it was a very young person. She was like 13, 14. She was the daughter of our pastor. And I was like, whoa, if she can do that, I think I can do that. Yeah. And so it was cool that my mom was the church secretary, so on the weekends I could go in there and jump on that stuff.
Oh, so you were churchy.
Yeah. And the drummer had left his drums there all the time, so I was jump on them bad boys too. So it was just learning how to figure that out. Like, how do I make sounds with these things? And then once you do that, you know, the black church, you're trying to get up in front of people, you better be dope.
You better be.
So you learn real quick, no, just because you want to do that does not mean you should be doing that.
Right.
So you have to learn that lesson of, I'm horrible. Like, why am I horrible? And then you go to other people's church, you're like, oh, my church is whack. Wait a minute. Church got in crisis doing this. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. You know what I'm saying? You start to get the judgments. And
of course.
And it's good and bad.
Yeah.
But you learn. Either way. Like, you're like, okay, they doing it different over there.
Yeah.
You know, our Hammond ain't hitting like that.
There's often discussion around, especially these days, around just music and training from the church, and should you be in the church? Do you have to be in the church to get to a certain place in music? What is your philosophy, especially in 2026, around just rearing in the church, or do you have to be there to get to a certain place to do things that you've done?
Of course you don't. And I know people like Shaka who weren't. And are still every bit as musical. Lalah wasn't. Every bit as musical. Intrinsic is in her spirit. So it depends on you and your journey too. Like, I have a very complicated relationship with the church. If you read my post, you'll know that I spent a lot of time deconstructing some of the things we learned that weren't necessarily
healthy,
right, or healthy. But at the same time, I never let somebody separate my spirituality and my personal relationship with my creator from those things that we learn that are external. So I try to make a point of, hey, don't confuse external with internal. And I think music as a way to learn, I learned as much from Stevie, Michael, Donnie, Sly as I did from anything from the Clark sisters or the stuff I learned in the church. So every bit of it is informative, and it should be informing your spirit if you are listening and open to it, because all of it is spiritual.
All of it's spiritual.
Yeah.
That's it right there. All of it's spiritual.
Yeah. I mean, if you're listening, Shaka, some of her most incredible records have nothing to do with her hits.
Right.
I'll name two. Night Moods. Ooh, crazy. B-side of Tell Me Something Good was Smoking Room. Listen to that. That performance is incredible. And moves me spiritually, moves me. Feel for you. I can dance to it. But the mother joints move me.
They move you.
Emotionally.
Yeah.
Night Moods is crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Shaka got cuts.
Yeah.
Shaka is goated. All right, you kidding me?
Like,
Right.
To me, best in
And
your
Lalah.
heart.
Like, again, I'm blessed to work with people who have that internal thing that's not necessarily rooted in the church.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, because that Lalah Hathaway.
That's a soulful.
That's a soulful. That is.
Yeah.
There's many vocalists I respect.
Yeah.
But she is by far one of my favorites.
Agreed.
I've had the pleasure of working with her on the live album we did when I was at E1. But just her gift, that instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's otherworldly.
It leaves me speechless every time.
Yeah.
It's
Right. Right. And the tonality.
Yes.
And her ability to control it. All of that comes from like an internal.
Yeah.
That's not only a gift, like you have to still be able to cultivate that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lalah, like given her lineage, what was the, like when you worked on Let Me Love You, like what was the intent going into that session? What were you thinking? Like what was the goal you were looking to accomplish?
That's a great question. Okay, so check this out. So in my journey from the Warner Brothers thing and getting dropped from Warner, we'll talk about that. But so I'm this guy that got signed to Warner and thought I was about to be all that. You know, we supposed to be the next guy and all this stuff that Benny Medina thought we were about to be, and I thought so too. But that didn't happen that way.
That's cachet, right?
Yeah, cachet. So we got dropped, and then I'm just like floating with no deal, no nothing, and I'm just in LA just kind of really worried about whether I was gonna have to move back to Wichita, right? And so my best friend and current manager, Jeff Foreman, who's the younger brother of James Mtume.
Oh, wow.
He signed Lalah to Virgin in 1990. So I was always
Connecting the
around.
dots.
I was always around him and her in their sessions. So a couple times Lalah let me come to her sessions. So when she was in session doing Baby Don't Cry with Angela Winbush and Ron Isley. So I'm just a fly on the wall, just in there, just listening and looking and absorbing. And I always said to myself in the back of my mind, I was like, oh my God, I just want to work with Lalah so bad, but I'm not, who am I? I'm like this guy, just random guy sitting in the studio that she don't know or care about.
Right.
And in the back of my mind, I was like, but one day I think I'm going to be able to. And when I do, I'm going to be ready. So that was 1990. Cut to like a couple years later, and I'm So Into You, 93. I'm So Into You was crazy, going nuts. And so now I check back. I'm like, she's like, oh, I love Coko. So now it's much easier. So I'm like, well, I want to work with you. What do you want to do? And she's like, anything you want to do. So I knew that I wanted to do something that was in the vein of I'm So Into You. So that's how Let Me Love You happens.
Wow.
Yeah, just a mid-tempo, joint that's soulful that I know she was.
I didn't realize you knew her before.
Right.
That's crazy. Before. So you were plotting and planning to get back to the studio with Lalah.
Was like, let me just get in there, please. And I was ready with that record that was so, and you could hear it. It's like, I'm so happy to just be singing backgrounds with it.
Yeah.
Them backgrounds, boy, I love them backgrounds to this day.
Yes. That's another big part of the Brian Alexander Morgan sound is your voice.
Yes. Thank you.
Not everyone who writes can sing. Not everyone who produces can sing. Not everyone who sings can write and produce. But you really do it all at a top-notch level. And I understand when you say you study people like Stevie, it makes sense.
Right.
But the vocals, the background, the layering that you do when you talk about even what Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis were doing, you're equally as influential for that in the sound that you created early on. Not only were you around Lalah, but you were also really close with Shantae Moore.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and that's a Sacramento thing, correct?
Yeah, well, Sacramento, she came from ultimately, I think, San Francisco and then San Diego by way of San Diego. But we both got signed to Warner at the same time.
Okay.
So she had
right? Benny
Medina, and J. King for me.
Who's also a vocal beast and a person whose backgrounds and vocal layering is insane.
Shantae was dope like that then.
Because like your whole circle is just this vocal.
Yeah, man. Like for real. And she had a whole album called Listen to My Song on Warner Brothers that I wish people could hear because it was a brilliant album. And I still have those cuts, and I always loved Shantae for that very reason. Her tonality, she was always on point pitch wise. She was a beast when I met her.
To this day, too. That's what's crazy.
Absolutely, yeah. So again, thank God I was around people like her to bounce my ideas off of. When I wrote Weak, I played it for her. You know what I mean? These people, I'm just like, hey, what do you think about this? Or
And Weak is about her, right?
And that was inspired.
Right
by
now,
sure.
That Crush turned into a hit record.
So what did she say when did you let her know that you were inspired? That was inspired by her?
Eventually, because by that time she had gotten married, moved away. She found that out via probably other people. She didn't know.
So when you played it, you just played it for like, check this out.
No, she knew that my musical part of it was one thing, because in her explanation on Questlove, she's explaining what my music part of it was, but I don't know if I didn't have the words to it when I did that.
Oh, okay.
So by the time it came out as a record, and then she understood that it was about her, that's another,
Yo, my man.
I want to understand, like, so Brian, like she's in the studio. What is it? Because y'all are working, your label mates at this point.
Right.
Jay King signed you, Benny Medina signed, but you're on the same labable. She's in the studio, and you like, man, I want to holler at her. Like, well, I mean, what's the? Because
no.
Was that the energy, or was it?
Absolutely not. Because Jay King was my boss, and was crazy.
Okay.
And like, I seen him, go crazy on people. I was like, this is the person you do not want to trigger or do anything crazy.
Yeah.
So no, that circumstance of how that all happened was just timing and circumstance. They were having some issues in their own lives. I was a side person that was, around. Mm-hmm. And then when you have a crush on somebody, but there's somebody else's person, you don't express that.
Yeah.
That's just private. You know what I mean? So, well, unless you're writing as we lay.
Yeah. See? Well, saving all my love.
saving up the joints that celebrate that. I was the church kid from Kansas that's just trying to make records.
Yeah.
You hear me? So when I said that through that song, it was out of frustration. That's all it is frustration. That's what that song is.
My man said, I don't know what it is.
But the cause and the cure
is you. And hold on now, because we are going to have an SWV moment, but just as songwriter, right?
Yeah. The
structure of that damn song and the way the song literally intensifies
and builds
as your heart is actually beating faster as the crush. Like most songs have like one bridge and you out. It has a bridge
and a post,
and then a post, and takes it up again, and then has the nerve to modulate. And then Coko goes wild.
Yeah.
It's just so, like, I love these are little things I love, right?
I appreciate you for caring.
No, man, these are things that matter. The song would have been a good song, verse, chorus, out. Hit record. But when a master knows how to make the song not just the words and melody good, but the actual song itself is doing what the song is saying is happening. Yeah. The song itself is expressing that I'm weak from the first note to the last note. It takes you on that whole emotional ride, and that is so freaking rare.
Thank you.
And it's brilliant,
authentic. It was the way I felt in that moment. And when I was writing it, I'm writing it for Charlie Wilson, who was one of my biggest heroes. So the level of stuff Charlie had done up until that point, I got to do something that makes him want to do it. That's what I'm thinking. Like, it's got to do something, because this is Charlie Wilson I'm trying to write this for. So when you talk about records like Yearning for Your Love, or there's so many ballads and when I was writing that, I was thinking about this joint called Wednesday Lover that they did. A lot of people don't know. And that really was a dope cut out for me. It was just like, so I'm trying to get Charlie's attention.
Yeah.
So those things probably happened as a desire to make sure he felt it.
Yeah, well,
and I never gave it to him after all of that.
Well, I'm going to say, since we're here, let's just talk about when it all fully explodes, which is you have been grinding. You start in the church. You go to Sacramento. You, of course, like everyone else, gets, I'm sure, 1,000 no's, and songs are floating for a while, and then you get to a point where you find almost like what I would call your muses, right? Like there's the Jammin' Lewis and Janet. There's Rodney, LaShawn, and Brandy, and which comes a little bit after this. But the SWV thing is, in my opinion, one of those spiritual connections, musical connections that doesn't happen very often in music ever. And I would love to hear from your perspective what that was like. Did you know that it was that kind of a bond? Take us through the entire, you meet these three ladies and boom.
It starts with another lady who I was passionate about, Martha Wash. So without Martha Wash, none of it happens. None of it. Like the whole sequence of events starts from my passion about Martha's voice from when I was a little kid. So when I was 12 years old in 1978, Martha had a record with Sylvester called Disco Heat. Big hit. And I'm 12. And my early DJ self used to go in the music room instead of going out to play. I would play records for the white kids. in the music room because the music teacher was like, this dude is crazy, but I'm gonna let him use his music room, and he's all he cares about is music. So there's a record player in there, and I would play Flashlight, all the blackest black shit ever. And then the white kids was like, this is amazing, right? So when disco was huge, when I put on Disco Heat, they went crazy. But I was vibing on, I was like, who is singing these backgrounds? And it was Martha Wash and Izora. And it affected me deeply. Like something about her voice was like, wow. So cut to the late 80s when her voice is back in a huge way with CNC Music Factory, with everybody dance now, Black Box with everybody. So being broke is a hell of a way for you to be motivated. Yeah. So I said to myself, instead of me going back to Wichita and just being, done, I couldn't give up with my career. It's like, I know, Phil, I can write for her. If I don't do nothing else, I can write for that lady.
For Martha
because
Wash.
I felt her from when I was a kid. Yeah. So I wrote a joint called Give It To You. And it was in the vein of everybody. And then I was like, well, I wrote that one. I can write another one. And then I was like, ooh, nobody's ever heard her do a mid-tempo. So I did this joint called Things We Do for Love. And then I was like, ooh, and nobody really hears her own ballad. So I wrote this ballad called Now That You're Gone. So by the time I had it all done as a demo and sent it off to them, I didn't expect much. I didn't know what would happen. But Martha herself called me. And she's like, I don't know who the hell you are, but we need you in New York immediately because the A&R guy had been missing, we've been missing, he wasn't getting what we are. Yeah. That A&R guy was Kenny Ortiz.
Ortiz.
That's right. So when they were so happy with what I sent, they were like, we want to do all 5 of those joints you sent us. I'm like, what? And now that was saving my life financially because I was really, really about to have to go back to Wichita, for real. And that saved my life, like really, and got me some new gear. So all of a sudden I had an MPC because that was brand new. And then those are the things that I did all the It's About Time stuff on. Was because I was able to do Martha Wash. So in New York with Kenny, mixing and writing and recording a diva like Martha Wash, that was setting me up for the 3 divas that I was about to work with. Right? Yeah. Temperament. Understanding, Martha's, she's Aretha and Martha are up in that same category. Are you working with a legend?
Yes, sir.
So you're not just in there just telling them what to do.
Yeah.
You gotta, there's a way to work with people like that, right? So I'm learning all that on the fly. But more importantly, Kenny Ortiz and I developed a relationship. And like, yo, I'm in the mix at RCA. So he's like, oh, by the way, I got these girls. And that's how I started.
That's crazy. So at what point in those sessions for that first, those initial SWV sessions, did you realize that there was magic between the 3 of them and you?
I'd have to go before that. Back in the day when you could send a tape, Federal Express. So when Kenny sent me the demos that they had done up until that point without knowing me, I knew immediately when I heard Coco's voice, I was like, oh, whoa. So if I had to do a comparison of why I thought it would be, in your words, magic, is because I always do the comparison of Charlie Wilson's voice and Shirley Murdoch on the absolute cookout smash of all time, Computer Love.
That's what y'all had to me on.
That's what it is.
Always on my mind.
Always on my mind.
But I knew when I heard her on that demo that that's what it was going to be. So I was like,
that makes sense.
She is my Shirley, and I'm her Charlie to that.
I love that.
That makes so much sense.
100%.
Wow.
Yes. You know what I mean? And I knew that. Even though that demo was all over the place and crazy, right? It was like she was sharp and crazy everywhere. But I was like, but if I can control what that is, I'm feeling, we're going to be great.
So I want to go to that first encounter, that first meeting with SWV. What do you remember? Where was it? What was said? What happened?
Homeboy Recording Studio, with the same place they recorded Robin S.'s Show Me Love.
Yeah.
And Alan and Fred. Shout out to Alan and Fred. Rest in peace, Fred. It wasn't great because Coko hated Week so much, and Kenny was so hell-bent on them cutting Week.
This is the day one you meet them. And
Kenny was like, let's get to work. He wanted because he wanted them to get signed, man. Like his thing was, we need to get signed. I need them to get them signed. So, but he didn't hear Week yet when I first met them. He hadn't heard Week yet. I had Right Here, and I think one more. It wasn't a whole lot, but he knew, just like I knew, if I could get to Coco's tone and start messing with her voice. And then I didn't know how dope they sounded together until I heard them together. That's when I was like, oh, y'all really sound like good together. So I knew I was excited about double tracking them and stacking their voices as one. Grew as on one mic, and then I was like, I'm gonna get them individually too, so I can record and control the balance. And I was excited about that. But what I got was the New York attitudes. There's let me know. I ain't all that. Right. Whoever I am, you feel me? I got that New York, and that was fun. It was cool, but mostly it was just us being like, what we about to do? Like, what are we doing? So I think if Kenny hadn't discovered Weak a little later than that, and by accident, by the way, did y'all know that story?
No, by accident. What do you mean?
Oh, completely by accident. So, in my J. King days, there was this guy, Jeff Bowens, who used to clean J. King's offices. And we all had, because a lot of cassettes then. So, I guess he casually took my demo of Weak from 1989 when I made it, because he would be cleaning up the offices and he probably saw it, hurt, and then just grabbed it. I didn't think nothing about it. And that was that, 1989, right? So cut to early 90s, probably 91, there's a man, Skip Miller, who used to be the head of black music at RCA. So he has a meeting with Kenny Ortiz, who's usually on the East Coast, New York. He's all of a sudden in LA for this day, having a meeting with Kenny Ortiz. Jeff Bowens, now from being a person that cleaned up Jay's office, is now a budding A&R guy in the offices at RCA.
Wow.
Sitting in cubicles in the near proximity of
You never know.
of the Kenny Ortizes and the Skip Millers. So he probably timed it pretty good. So when Kenny's coming out of Skip's office, boom, he hits my demo of Weak and plays it. And now, if Kenny knows my voice by that point.
Right.
So Kenny snaps around, what is that? And I know that's Brian Alexander Morgan. That's Brian Morgan. And Jeff was like, yep. He's like, well, what? And then Kenny calls me like, now how the hell you gonna not give me that song? And I'm trying to get these girls signed. And then I was like, because I'm trying to hold it for myself? He's like, nah, bro. Nah. He's like, I'll give you 10 G's to do demo that. Done. I was like, when I'm in there mixing Martha, I'll cut it then. And that's our real first meeting, when it was time to record that Weak vocal.
So
and Coko hated it and hid in the bathroom.
It was a little something special about Weak. Jesus.
I hated that song. She didn't like it. I didn't get that song. I didn't understand it. I didn't want to understand it. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to sing it. That song, they could have flushed it in the toilet.
Can you imagine? What if they listened to her?
Locked myself in the bathroom. They had to call my mama to get me out.
Really?
Weak was not it for me.
What was the rub between you and Weak?
I think at that young age, I just really did not understand it. I didn't get it. The way he wanted me to approach the song. I was a church girl, so I'm used to, I did not get that at all. Like, I don't know. I was like, I don't want to sing like that. I was like, I didn't get it. So vocally, it was just like, I didn't understand it. So just having someone like Brian to teach me how to approach the song, where to place the ad-libs and things like that, that was really a hard lesson for me. And I'm 52 now. I still listen to lyrics a week, and I'm like, the cause and the cure. I didn't get that for years, but he's the cause and the cure. That's pretty deep.
That's deep. I was singing some stuff at that point.
So I think if I would have really known what I was singing about back then, I think I would have been more appreciative of the song and approached it differently vocally. But it is what it is.
So when you, in my mind, when you introduce SWV to the world, you also introduce the sound to the world.
It's really myself.
It's yourself?
Totally, yeah. It just with incredible voices to do it through.
What I wanted to know is, was there a moment where you found the sound? Because a lot of producers, we do a lot of copying of sounds, but it's hard to find an original idea for a sound sonically.
Sure.
So is there a moment where you was like, yo, this is sound, this is my sound?
I'm tell you what, you can tell when I'm still on Teddy's dick with Think You're Gonna Like It. That's that new Jack joint.
Yeah.
Still on his nuts with, we still got to do that, because that was the sound of the day.
Yeah, I knew that song was the sound.
But I'm So Into You is the moment for me where I'm like, okay, I got to do me now. And I think that Midwest thing that I got that's different than this New Jack Swing thing, I'm So Into You is that. It's so not fresh. Swinging like that at all. It's straight.
It's straight.
And it's really, really has to do with my influences. I like some of the records I mentioned on this other podcast. I'm talking about the records that influence. I love Funkin' for Jamaica. That big boom. Those influences.
Yeah.
Huge on me. So that's why it's I'm giving you that, right? Or the boom, boom, boom V. Remember that boom, 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 boom V. That's a New York thing. Yeah. But in the Midwest, that was huge. So that's how you get the
crazy.
So I'm just using the influences that
in the
influence
world.
me. Yeah, and put them all together.
That's wild.
So speaking of introducing yourself to the world, the voice of Brian Alexander Morgan, I know most of us, we first heard you as a singer on You're Always on My Mind.
Mm-hmm.
I always wondered, were there ever plans to do more duets with you and Coko and you working with SWV in terms of you singing with them on the record? And then 2, why did we never get a Brian Alexander Morgan solo record? Because your voice is sickening to this day.
I appreciate you and thank you. I think at the time I was still kind of scared of it.
Okay.
Like I saw what the girls went through when they were on those first promo tours and how they could be really mean. And it was scary to me. I'm like, they got to go out to Chicago. These people ain't, and if you ain't sounding like exactly like the record, they'll let you know.
Yeah.
And I was worried about them a lot of times because it was just hard sometimes. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I saw it up close. I was like, I'm good. I'll just stay on this record. I'm cool. So I don't think I was ready mentally to do what they were doing.
Yeah.
And I'll tell them to this day, like, I really have a lot of admiration for all the artists, especially people like them that were so young, that got out there and did that.
Yeah,
right?
the hard work.
Took basically their whole lives and was like having to be on a flight everywhere, all across the country, and then overseas. And I'm like, I ain't doing all that. I'm cool. I want to work with Usher.
Bread.
I want to tell Usher to come over here. That's what we about to do. Or or here come Layla. That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
So frankly, and Charlie came to the house and I was fine.
I'll stay put. I'll stay inside.
John B came over. You know what I mean? All the people that came to see me in Sacramento after those records. It used to start to be a thing. They're like, B ain't going nowhere. You got to go to him. But it wasn't like that. It wasn't arrogant. I just really had a fear of flying, number one.
Okay.
Never was a good flyer. And then I was like, I don't think I'm ready to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm always a singer. And I'm always be singing on my joints. Like, whether it's the demos or whether, so I'm a natural singer. So, but I don't know if I'm a natural entertainer.
Okay.
And there's a difference.
It's a difference.
You know what I mean?
Brian, I want to go back to the studio week. Coco's in the bathroom, running the bathroom because she hates the song. Because even on SWV appeared on We Sound Crazy.
I saw that,
a time ago, and she talks about how much she hates it or hated.
Yeah,
hated it.
How much she hated Week. Take us back to how did you get her out of the bathroom, one, and convince an artist who just doesn't like the song to actually record? Because the album version of Week, for those that don't know, is very different from the radio and the video version that was released. So there's new vocals clearly on those versions. Something I want to ask you about all the multiple versions of different songs. But how did you get her to record and when she really just didn't like Week?
I think in that moment, it was up to Kenny. That's Kenny's job. He's the A&R guy. This is your show. I'm like, I already got my 10 G's.
I'm good.
My flight to Sac is booked. And I can only tell Kenny, like, bro, I'm here, ready to do what you want me to do, but so Kenny got her out of there. Then they called her mom. That's how they got her out of there. They got her mom on the phone, which was hilarious to me. But to answer to your real question, like once she got out of the bathroom and it was time to get on that mic and time to give me what I needed on that record, and the vocal that you hear on the final record is me not wavering, and not badgering her either.
Yeah.
Because I still had to be sensitive to the fact that she still needed to do this performance. So I'm like, let's just get it line by line. Just give me what I want. Just give me what I want. And she was so adverse to singing in this new way. Like she said on your podcast, she didn't sing like that. I didn't care. I'm like, I know what you can do. and here's what we're gonna do. And so like a director would walk an actor through a scene, it was the same thing. I was like, just give me this just like this. And then eventually it started to come together and she could hear it coming together. Once she could hear that it was coming together, she understood. She knew. And then the girls, Lily and Ty's were like so cool. Like they were just ready to get, what we doing, let's get it.
Yeah.
And they sound amazing on those backgrounds. And every single song we ever did, like they were always so easy to, get it done. And by the way, Coko loved I'm So Into You, so it was the exact opposite on that. She giggled at the end of it, happy. I kept that on the record on purpose because I was like, look at her happy, right? Let me capture that.
Look at her, all happy and shit.
Kept it on there because I was like, that's honesty right there. When I told her to do this, she loved that, and she started doing it and got a little happy. I was like, okay. And if you listen to the end of it, she just laughs. I kept it on.
Yeah,
that's so good.
Was it your decision or Kenny or the groups? Who made the decision to recut the weak vocals for some of the other versions? Like, because there was a radio version and there was a R&B radio, but it was different vocals, and then it was the Bam Jams remix.
I did my remix, and I wanted to have a certain thing happen in those harmonies that we didn't do on the original. That's how that was. It was just me like, I want to get this on there because I was like, ooh, on the harmonizing that.
Yes.
I was like, I need to harmonize that for just more of an effect. So that's all that was.
But it was new ad-libs too, though, I remember.
Additional ad-libs.
Yeah, additional ad-libs.
Yeah. But the bigger song that's closer to what you're talking about would be Always on My Mind.
Yeah.
Because, and the story behind that, because Coko was giving me shit. She was like, why are you trying to outrun me? Why are you trying to this? And I was like, I wrote all of this. I'm not trying to outrun you. I said, but here's what I did because I love her so much. And I didn't want her to feel like I was doing any of that. I minimized my whole performance on Always on My Mind, on the album version, to make her not feel intimidated by that. Because I got it. I understood. Like, here's the guy telling you to do everything you're doing. And then, of course, I can throw a zillion things in there for me to do. I was like, that's not what I'm here for at all. I want to make sure you feel comfortable. So I just minimize. If you listen to, I can't stand that album version of Always on My Mind.
Because it's too simple for you?
Oh, God. Because it's none of it is what I wanted to do. So when they decided to make that a single, I said to myself, I'm
going back in.
Yeah. Now I can do what I wanted to do on the record. So I did it. I changed it. And then when we shot the video, I was like, this is what I wanted to do on that song the whole time.
Right here is the original is crazy. The remix is crazy. It's a cultural phenomenon. It starts off as an idea that gets SWV, then at some point it becomes a remix, and Michael Jackson
absolutely
gets involved.
Yes.
Just talk us through Right Here, because that is a masterful record as well.
Again, one of those, I've often been the person that says this right here, vessel. I'm just a vessel. So one day in my depression about getting dropped from Warner in '89, right around the time I wrote, it was probably a little bit after I wrote Weak, and I'm just sitting on these tunes that I have. It's on cassette. I'm just riding around in my car. I had this beat up Isuzu Impulse. And
not an Isuzu.
Isuzu Impulse. And I would ride around and I would listen to these ideas that I had done. And one day, I couldn't sleep this day. It was like 6 a.m. and the sun's coming up and I'm riding around with this demo of Right Here, the music. And all of a sudden, the hook just came to me. That whole love will be right. All of that came to me as one whole thought. And that hardly ever happens. So when the whole words and melody come to you, that's when I really listen and allow it to come. So that's how Right Here got written. That was 1990.
Wow.
Then I did that demo. And I put it to the side. Didn't have no verses, just that hook. And it sat around as a hook for 2 years. And by the time I met the girls, I was like, oh, I need to go back. And now that I heard, now I have Coco's voice in my head to what to do on those verses. So then all of a sudden it's just, well, this is easy. That seem to be, because it's Coco's voice. Now I'm like, now I know what I'm working with. So that's how that came together.
Brilliant.
And I have the demo of Right Here, my original one that you guys can hear from then.
Oh no, we're gonna hear that and have it. Are you kidding me?
This is why I hope you guys were in town, because I want y'all to hear all these demos of the originals. Weak demo is crazy. It's like literally verbatim what the record is. Like I sang every ad lib, everything. Same thing. Like 2 different people sing the verses on the demo of Rain. 2 different friends of mine, and then I sing the hook. But by then you can tell I had some money because the track sounds like the real record. But when you hear Weak, it's like, whoa, bro, you was broke.
Someone pay him.
You was broke, bro, when you did Weak. It's a cassette that sounds like it. It's like, ugh. But, again, all growth, man. I'm thankful.
So the first album, It's About Time, it is what it is. It goes crazy, right? Phil mentioned Fine Time earlier. New Beginning, the second album. I was always, even as a kid, just reading the credits, I was always perturbed by the fact that you were not as visible on that album as the first album.
Right.
Can you talk about the energy around the beginnings of the makings of that second album
and why you weren't around,
why
like you were supposed to be around,
transpire, all that good stuff?
I think the girls will tell you, just like I learned later, like that management they had at that time was very, very unseasoned, shall we say, like did not know a lot about the business. They were really like, shouldn't have been their manager. It was a very bad, unfortunate situation. So she didn't handle things very well in any aspect.
Okay.
Like, so she had them at each other's throats too. So I think that the misguided part of what she did, that manager did, was to try to put a wedge between me and them, meaning, oh, he's making all the money. You guys have to write because you see him, he got all the money. You guys need to write to be where he's at financially. You're going to have to write. So whenever you start trying to interrupt something that happened authentically and naturally, it's a problem. You can't really do that and not expect disastrous results. So it was her way of sidelining me.
That's so stupid.
And
so
I got
stupid.
5 joints on that album that none of them were singles. Now, how do you do that when 7 of your first ones were all my singles?
And hits.
It's just the most backwards thing you could possibly do. I know the girls weren't doing it. It wasn't them. And it was just unfortunate. And then so you lose momentum, number one.
Yeah.
For both of us.
Yeah.
You lose what the magic that you guys talk about.
Yeah.
But and it was frustrating because the fans knew they could still hear the records on there.
Right.
So people like Theo at the radio station here in LA, he would play Fine Time all the time. He would play What's It Gonna Be.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? And I was passionate about those records too. What's It Gonna Be is one of my favorite joints. I just cleared the sample for That's What I'm Here For.
Okay.
And a couple of days ago, new rapper coming out, he just used it from Canada, Toronto. He's killing it. Joint called What I'm Here For. And I love that they keep going back to these album cuts now too. But again, I wasn't being any less passionate about what I was doing with them. Fine Time is an amazing record that I thought should have the spotlight.
Definitely should have been
Did you feel some kind of way during that process when you realized that the songs that you were making weren't going to be the singles?
Yeah, felt like devastated. It was like getting punched in the gut.
Right.
And getting punished for my success. There's nothing you can't describe that, how that feels like, wait, I'm the reason why we're all successful and I'm getting punished. That's weird.
I've been there.
The title itself is a slap in the face.
Right.
I remember being 10 when that record came out.
Wow.
Reading and listening to the album, I'm like, okay, You're the One is the first single.
Which basically just covers what I'm saying that you talked about again.
Right.
Exact same subject.
But before they come with Use Your Heart, I'm like, Fine Time got to be the week of this album.
That's what everybody thought. Sure.
And then they come with Use Your Heart, and that's a dope record.
Love Use Your Heart.
Yeah.
But I'm like, and then they move on to the Release Some Tension record, which Rain is the song.
No, they put that one joint out. What's that other one?
It's All About You.
They put that joint with what's the name of that joint?
You.
Is that what it was? That it?
They did.
I think so. It's really all about you.
It's really all about
Okay.
you. You're the One. Use Your Heart with the singles from that album, and then when they moved on to
I
Release
love
Some
You're the
Tension-
One, by the way.
Yeah.
Shout out to All Star because again,
I felt like the songs that you did, like even with Rain on that third album, that was the song that made people cling to that album.
because you're getting back to the authentic thing that makes us us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not even complicated, really. It's like very simple. And the story of that is crazy.
Which one, Rain?
How that ended up on the album at all. That was for Brandy.
Rain was for Brandy?
Absolutely. It had gotten paid by Sylvia and Merlin Bob at Atlantic.
No.
To do,
You didn't take the check, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
And then walk up. You got to unpack that, man.
Right.
Yeah,
okay, because I know Sylvia Rona's a dear friend.
Yes.
And I know Sylvia, you ain't taking her money and
not giving the
not giving her the song.
So look at how it goes. So understand how the structure of it.
Okay.
So they wanted to do business with me.
Mhm.
And I was like, yes. So back then you would do song deals.
Yeah. Of
So
course.
they're doing a 4-song deal with me. Rain was one of those 4. So they paid me for my song deal. Rain was one of the 4 songs. And so here's how it went. Now, I'm still in my feelings about not what happened on the new. So I'm going head first into Brandy, like, and I know that Rodney's doing The Boy Is Mine. He's in charge. He's the executive, a producer. So I know that I got to get past Rodney to get it really on. So here's what happens. So Brandy and I start communicating. She's still on Moesha at this time. And she's doing the Cinderella movie at that time. So she flies me. I live in Sacramento still. She flies me to LA, and she puts me on the set with her at Moesha. Usher was there that day, and I had already worked with him at my house. She puts me on the same set with her at the Cinderella thing. This is how much we were like vibing. And she's telling me, oh my God, I love that song. And then Rodney hears it, loves it. So I'm thinking, yes, it's on, right? So something happened between the time I get back to Sacramento and the time we're supposed to cut it with me and Brandy. So I go all the way to New York thinking I'm gonna cut it on Brandy. I'm at Daddy's house with Kelly Price, chilling, playing them the demo of Rain. Everybody loves it. Diddy's giving it a, that's all right. But everybody else is like, this is crazy. Right? And the next day I get a call, and it's from Merlin, and they're like, hit a snag. It's not happening. Not gonna go. And really, it's just Rodney saying no.
Damn.
So, and Rodney will tell you that he didn't do that, and he didn't say that, and I had a back and forth with him, but he was in charge. Let me just say that. And I had already gotten paid from that song deal, so it wasn't like, you know what I mean? That's what happened, and then somebody knew something because the phone rings and it's RCA. The next call is, so. Is that still available?
Interesting.
I'm like,
that song was buzzing.
That this joint was now all of a sudden available. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Some inside stuff going on. So they're like, we got this whole album done, the release intention, and we don't have a Brian Morgan song. And I'm like, of course you don't, because you didn't release none of my joints from the last one. But like, we gotta have a Brian Morgan joint, and that's how Rain got on that album.
Jesus.
Yo,
I did not know that.
That is crazy. And what's crazy about it is, right, normally when someone says the song didn't go to this person and landed on this person, it's totally meant to be. And it's meant to be, don't get me wrong.
Totally.
But Brandy singing Rain was good A&Ring.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great
That'd have been a moment.
pairing. Right?
And on an album that is iconic. I would have been The Boy Is Mine joint, which I wanted.
It would have been crazy, right?
Yeah,
it would have been nuts.
Yeah.
And listen, it landed right where it's supposed to land, and it's impeccable. But that's a crazy story because normally you're like, that shouldn't have happened.
And again,
but I'm like,
I was devastated. My gut punch. Like, it was another gut punch. I was like, oh, that was gonna be my not SWV record.
Right.
That was on
a
big successful record on a person who I've loved and adored their vocals, and you know what I mean? Like,
so was that session awkward? Because now you've been in your feelings for a minute. You coming back for the one song on the new album.
You would think it would have been awkward with me and Coko, but it wasn't, because obviously Coko had heard that might have gone to Brandy.
Okay.
The most humblest, best energy I ever had was recording her and Rain.
Wow.
She was the most cooperative, the sweetest. And it was perfect because I needed sweet on that.
Yes.
I wanted you to come now. We're doing something even more sexier than weak.
Yeah.
Now I need you to come in with this other energy. That's how she slides into sometimes it's on. It's different than weak. You know what I mean? And she gave it to me. And I really, that was an easy session.
That's one of the best R&B songs of all time, in my opinion.
Well, thank you.
It's a song that Chuck rolls with me every day. We work together every day. I sing that song literally, subconsciously.
That's crazy.
Every single day.
I love it.
It's just like.
And by the way, none of that would have happened without Lalah. Rain wouldn't have happened without Lalah.
Lalah Hathaway?
Let's go back.
Let us.
So when I did Let Me Love You on her in 94, we had a vibe session where I came to her apartment here in LA. I still lived in Sacramento. When I come down and vibe with her at her place, her apartment, and she's got all this vinyl, and I'm a vinyl head. So I'm going through her vinyl, and I pull out this one vinyl, and it's Jaco.
Jaco Pastorius.
And I hadn't seen that cover before. So it was very arresting if you see that cover. It's black and white. I said, what is that? She said, oh, that's Jaco. You don't know. You ain't hip to Jaco. What? So we put it on, and when it gets to Portrait of Tracy, I got the chills. I was like, oh my God. I was like, if I ever use that, that's going to be crazy. And I just put it to the side. And then we went about our business. She came to Sacramento. We recorded Let Me Love You. Forgot all about it. 3 years later.
Yo, the way you just strung Lalah to Brandy to SWV and Rain just blew my fucking mind.
This is how it happened. So 3 years later, I'm in the shower, and I had been kicking around this hook for like a week, and it was the whole hook of Rain. Had it in my head for like a whole week, and I was like, that hook is not leaving me. You know how when a hook won't leave you alone?
Yes.
It keeps coming to you?
Yes.
So, and in this moment, I'm in the shower. Hook is back in my mind again. I'm like, damn, why I can't it rain down on me, let your love. Just the whole hook, and I got the words again. So now I'm looking at that as, this is one of these moments.
Yeah.
Because normally I do not get the words and the melody. I have to work on words after the fact. Or melody after. You feel it's one or the other. It's never both.
Never at the same time.
So in this moment, I'm getting the whole hook. And then it hit me. I was like, wait a minute. If that Jaco thing that Lalah played me 3 years ago works with this hook, it's out of here. And so the Spirit told me, you got to go listen to it now. So I put on a towel, ran down to my studio, pulled out that Jaco vinyl. I said, and this is a little prayer I said, God, if this is in the same key that I'm hearing this hook in, I'm going to take that as a sign. Put that needle down on that record, and it went do-do-do-do-do, woo-do. I was like, that's it. And I did that whole beat in my towel because the Spirit said, move now. I did that beat then and there on that MPC, and that's how Rain became Rain.
I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it.
So good.
Wait. Hold on.
Yeah, man.
You've blown my mind.
Mind blown. Because let me just reiterate again. The Martha Wash.
Yes.
To the Lalah Hathaway.
Yes.
To the Brandy.
Yes.
To the Coko.
Yes, sir.
To the world.
Yes.
Of it all.
Yeah.
Is insane. But you were just saying that there's even more to Rain. The meaning has always been debated. The meaning of Rain can go a couple different ways.
Right.
You can be kind of nasty about it, or you can be holy about it.
Which I love.
But the source is here, so explain your intentions.
Well, due to social media and all the stuff that we have now, that people can say a thing and then people run with it. So that's what happened with Rain. Some dude said that it was about getting, ejaculated on or something like that. And it's not that at all. So I want to go back. So when I finally put it together and decided to put words to my melody and all that stuff, I was inspired by Prince and people that have, and Marvin, people that have taken sexual themes and they can be ambiguous. They can be spiritual or sexual. I'm fascinated by that. So I was like, in my mind, I was like, I've never heard anybody write a metaphor for the female orgasm. Ever. So Rain is simply a metaphor for the female orgasm. Full as a dam at capacity. My passion's about to explode. Everything about it is what's happening to the female in the middle of an orgasm. I can't escape. It's surrounding me. I'm caught in a storm that I don't need shelter from. So I'm using the rain as a metaphor for climax.
Yo, and the fact that it's poetry.
It's poetry.
But it's so sweet. It's, wow.
And the reason why I started with the line, sometimes it's soft as a misty rain, because I've talked to a lot of girls about orgasms, and maybe
I did field research.
and maybe did a little research. So, but Pete, every orgasm is different. They're not always all the same. And sometimes it's the people think it's some big, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's small and it builds. So I wanted to convey that. So I was like, let me start it with just that, because that's a misconception right off the rip. Yeah. Sometimes it's soft. That gently touches my soul. I was just trying to make it be poetic.
You know what?
I mean?
Trying. That's it.
That's crazy.
It cools the fire though.
That burns back in me.
It's still
I simply lose control.
Yeah.
It's a masterclass.
Yes, thank you.
In all the things.
And trying to be like my heroes.
In production,
man. I'm trying to
writing and vocal performance.
Yeah, man.
All right, let's shift for a minute, because you are opinionated in all the best ways. I love someone who knows what they know and likes what they like, right?
Yes.
We have this segment called Best in Show. I'm gonna read off a couple producers, but you can use these ones, but feel free to throw in anyone that comes to mind. Babyface, Rodney Jerkins, Timbaland, Pharrell Williams, Missy Elliott, Jermaine Dupri, Dallas Austin, Raphael Sadiq, and of course we talked about Teddy Riley, right? Just keep those in the back of your mind. We're going to ask you some questions about producers and creators like yourself that I'm sure you've worked with or have influenced you.
Do I get to be included in those lists of those people?
Yes, I was going to say, you can include yourself.
No, I'm asking, am I on the same level as any of those people?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's the part I'm like,
absolutely.
Because I'm like, I never feel like I am.
No, man,
What are you
you're
talking
like,
about?
I'm like, I always like a side asterisk.
No.
I'm an asshole about producers, and you are in my top 5.
That's what I'm saying.
bro.
I just feel like people don't really know me like they know those people. And that's fine.
What?
But I mean, I've never felt
They know
like
your
I was
art,
in the
though.
same-
They know your art.
They know it.
You know what I mean?
They know it. They know it, bro.
They know it, and it's circling the world, as I'm sure you're getting all them checks. You know that they know who the hell you are.
Right.
But keep those in mind, and of course yourself in mind. You can throw your own name here too.
I don't want to do that. I was literally asking, like, just thank you for including me in the list of those people.
For sure.
Well, you're in on this. We're gonna just ask you a bunch of questions. The first one that comes to mind, feel free to spit it out. All right. Which producer has the catalog you most want to have if you had to trade yours?
Jam and Lewis.
Okay.
Who has the best ear for production of all time?
For production, I have a couple, but I'm gonna go with Quincy, and then Jam and Lewis.
Jam and Lewis.
Who made the most timeless records?
I hate to put Jam and Lewis back in there, but I'm sorry, like, bro. Jam and Lewis, those are my heroes, man. Like,
Yeah.
that catalog and the timelessness of those records, is insane, bro.
Insane.
Yeah.
Who do you think understood vocal arrangement the best?
I'm gonna go Jam and Lewis again because when you listen to their catalog, the SOS band vocals and what they do and those unisons, tell me if you still care. You know how crafty and simple those, but yet effective those melodies are?
Yes.
And then they go all the way and flip it up with Janet.
Yes.
And those harmonies, those very distinct harmonies of all my love. What? And then into New Edition and know how to navigate between Johnny's voice and other and Ralph and them's voices and give them the right atmosphere to do what they do. And then a Thelma Houston in the middle of that and a Sound of Blackness in the middle of that. Yes. Are you kidding me right now?
Man.
And then still and Mary J.
Yeah.
Mariah.
Yeah.
That's navigating not only the times, but the skill that it takes to have melodies that are absolutely timeless and still effective.
Yeah. Who do you think should be brought up in the greatest of all time conversation more often?
Greatest of all time more often. That's tough. Ooh. Arif Mardin. Because of his work with Aretha and Shaka and the Bee Gees, there's so many. That's a lot of different genres to do hit record making in.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with him.
Just to interject for a second, my opinion would be you, Chucky Thompson, and Narada.
Oh wow. Ooh, yeah. I like
the three, I'm like,
well,
what y'all talk like?
That's huge because I love all of them.
That's just.
I love me some Chucky.
He's like, I love myself.
I love Chucky Thompson. I love Chucky. I don't know, to be, again, mentioned in the same breath as Chucky Thompson and Narada and those, because these are absolutely iconic records these people make.
I mean, that there's just a certain echelon of quality. That all three of you.
And Narada definitely, because people don't realize the level of how many iconic records he has.
Sometimes I don't even think people realize that he's a man of color, because I feel like there's the poppiness that he did with Whitney Houston that would suggest that they were crossing over to other kinds of people, and that it was us.
He had I Should Have Loved You and Tonight on his own first. Blackity Black.
Right.
So I mean, I'm a Narada fan from then. I bought those records then. I was 13, 14 years old when I was playing those records. Those we call skate records.
See,
skate ring records.
Let's do a few more.
Who do you think changed R&B the most sonically?
Teddy, because he had us in a chokehold. Even Jimmy and Terry had to switch up to sound like that, and I came in the game sounding like that.
Yeah.
So
New Jack Swing, baby.
Yeah, man. Like I can't hate on it. It's like, and then not to mention, I have some of my favorite. I love the record New Jack Swing itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Think without a New Jack. That record is crazy. Are you crazy? That's incredible.
How you make up a genre, make a song out of it, and it really does change the game.
Right?
Be that much of a visionary.
And then be able to put it on groups like High Five.
Right.
Where it's still melodic. I like. Are you kidding me?
I love High Five, man.
But Piece of My Love is iconic. It's you just can't deny it. I'm sorry. Like the fact that I was even coming in able to even do anything after that, I'm blessed. Because that was a chokehold for a while. The Key Sweat joints I wanted, the Jaco just got paid. You see how many joints I could just keep naming that don't sound alike, but still have the flavor? That's and then Remember the Time. Oh my God. Like,
and he don't get credit for the stuff he did on Blackstreet.
Right.
And
that's some of the best R&B right there.
Before I Let Go.
Before I Let Go.
I mean, This on Brandy. I mean,
I may not agree with his politics, but I will never front on his music, on his talent. I got to say that because that man, come on, he was influencing all of us for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm. Who do you think was the best at crafting songs for women out of those?
Prince. Because so many of his joints ended up on women's records. Yeah. You know what I mean? I Feel For You. Man, pick a joint. Melissa Morgan. Jeez, do me, baby. And we got to go back to the Dion joints. Bacharach. Those guys. Because those are the beginnings of where a white producer was able to put a black face on those kind of melodies. Yeah. So I got to go back to those iconic Dionne Warwick joints. Burt Bacharach and How. Yeah, for sure.
Browns and Morgan, Best in Show.
Yeah, make some noise. Woo-woo. So, as you know, Brian, I'm from Virginia, right? I always talk about it almost every episode.
Here we go.
But in Virginia, there's this a good friend of mine. She's from Portsmouth, Virginia. Her name is Missy Elliott. She had a label named Goldmine. And she had her first artist on Goldmine was Nicole Ray.
Yes.
She had a song called I Can't See that you and Little Mo created.
Yes.
One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's such a great song.
Really? Thank you so much for that.
Because I think everyone, the SWV, what you've done for them, but you've done so much even beyond SWV. Nicole Ray, can you take me back to how did you and Missy connect? Nicole, how did that come about for I Can't See?
First of all, when I heard Missy and Tim, I was like, ooh, I got to step my whole game up because Tim with them beats was obviously retarded. And then Missy with the melodies and the pens. So 1 in a million was a game changer for me. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Who's writing these melodies? And it was Missy. I was like, okay. So in my mind, I knew that I needed to know her. And I just hoped that she wanted to know me. So when they did Can We on the girls, I was like, oh, here we go. Now this is they own it. And then once I got the call that Missy was feeling me and wanted to work with me, it was such like hand in glove. Are you kidding me? When she said, I got a girl, Nicole, and when I heard Nicole's voice, I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. And so it was like a natural fit because we already care about the same. Missy loved Faith just like I did. And the same thing happened with me and Faith. When I met her, when I heard her, I was like, I have to know her. And she ended up in SAC, writing and working with me. Like, I was like, that's just has to happen. And we've been friends ever since. And then we'll talk about my Faith joint later on. I got the title track of her album from 2015 called Incomparable. But Missy and Tim were just in my to-do list. So when the opportunity came with Nicole, it was like a natural fit, and I was so thankful. And then I love Little Mo and her work that she had already done with Missy. So this was like, this is going to be easy.
I mean, you have great taste in vocalists. I mean, you just talked about everyone there, and you said Faith as well, who is another one who is just vocally above the rest.
Absolutely.
Impact, right? Your songs have impact. Not even breaking it down to just SWV, but you are a big part of the sound. When people say, oh, I love the 90s, it's you're a big percentage of that, right? So then and now, did you know, I mean, and also even for girl groups, right? I mean, the 90s are defined by profound, successful girl groups. SWV, of course, TLC, In Vogue, and there's others as well, but you are defining sound. Did you know, as things hit the top of the charts, right? You're like, okay, now, did you know you were making history?
No, because you never know. And there were so many other things happening at the time that were so crazy, like Lauryn Hill and Faith herself. When I heard, there you go. When I heard You Used to Love Me, I was like, oh man, I thought my stuff was dated and done. I'm like, I'm done. And then I did Rain after that. And then Faith was like, oh,
and ended up with Faith in the studio later on.
Oh, you doing it like that? She's like, I see what you. I was like, man, I'm just trying to stay in the game with y'all at this point.
When you work with Faith, did she let you stay in the studio? Because you know she kicks most out. I've had the pleasure of sitting in on multiple sessions.
She kicked us out.
She kicked us out.
No. You know how when you started out writing like she did, she started out as a writer, not as an artist first. So like she gets that writing part of it, right? So and plus we was at my house. She didn't kick me out of my own house.
We've talked a lot about the past, Brandy Morgan. I want to flip to the future. To what's happening right now?
Yeah, man, I got a lot going on right now. I'm excited about it.
Tell us about it, bro.
I have an artist that I really love. Her name is Nefertiti Avani, one of the dopest young writers and voices. I feel the same way about her as I did about Coko when I heard Coco's voice. I feel the same way about her pen as I did about Missy's. When I heard Missy's pen. So she's got it all in one place. And it's not a coincidence that I met her through Snoop and Battle Cat. She's already worked with Teddy.
Okay.
She's already worked with Fat Joe. She's already worked with Tim and Bob. Like all the iconic people that I respect and love, she's already been in and penning joints with them right now. So I'm happy that the joints we have together are something I'm proud of and ready to show the world. And I have a project called Brew. It stands for BAM's Rare Exclusive Unreleased.
Okay.
And I made like a mixtape of my latest 9, but also some old and new. So I'm mixing the two things because it's kind of like that's what I do in life. It's like my brand. I'm always mixing old stuff with new stuff anyway. That's what Rain was.
Yeah.
And that's what almost all my stuff is. So Brew is a combination of the things I'm most excited about right now and things that I've done. For example, you mentioned I Can't See. I Can't See is on there. With this new, I changed the hook up and I'm singing a different part of the hook. I still keep that. That's the thing I can't believe. I keep that, but I changed what I said before that. Just to get people like you feel that know that joint. You can be like, he flipped it. Yes.
I have something fresh on it.
Just for you. And then I got Let Me Love You is on there on this mixtape with a whole new track. My Right Now track. I was in the club one day and this Chris Brown joint was banging. I was like, I got to do a joint like that. And I went home. I was like, I did the joint.
You were in the club?
I was in the club listening to this beat. And I was like, this joint is fire. And the girls were going crazy. I was like, why are they going so crazy on this beat? And I analyzed the BPM and why. I was like, this is what happens when this type of joint comes on. I went home and I did a joint in that zone. I was like, let me see it. Let me put this Lalah Hathaway voice on there. And when I did, I was like, oh, that's crazy. So now I got a Lalah Hathaway joint on there. And then there's a joint I have that I had, it was a record that did not make it onto the New Beginnings album. It was a song called How About You? It didn't make it on. I've always loved the joint. I'm sugar free. By Juicy. So it's in that mid-tempo vibe. But I didn't like my lyrics back then, so I scrapped it. Forgot all about it from 96. It sit around from 96. One day in 2011, this is how stuff be happening to me. One day in 2011, it came to me. I was like, man, I want to revisit that. And I wrote a whole new hook, and I call it Real Love. And then all of a sudden, the whole song came together, and now that's me and Coko on there. Wow. So that's on the thing. So that and it's an ode to break beats. Right?
Wait a minute. There's new you and Coko coming, is what you're saying?
It's old Coko vocals from that demo that didn't make it on.
But
my vocal, I added on to it in 2011.
But a new duet.
A new duet. It's not a duet. It's me. It is a duet. I guess you can say it's a duet. It's both of us singing like this hook. But she's singing the verses by herself. But the reason why I love the record, because I wanted to do a song where every break beat damn near that I ever loved, I do it in this record. So the verses started with that real love. That is the beginning of it. Then I move into break beats that you know from Q-Tip. So I'm moving through all these break beats that you grew up around, and it all flows through this one record. By the time you get to the bridge, I use the drums from Sexual Healing. The 808 from Marvin Section is the bridge.
Like, I can't wait to hear this.
It's crazy. Come and Talk to Me, the break beat. That's my hook. Like, so that's what I got coming.
So I got to ask you this, because during the pandemic, you played a song that you did with Aretha Franklin and Joe Little from the
I still have that, yes.
Will we ever, I know it's estates and labels and all that.
Yeah.
Will
the
we
estates.
ever
Did you like it?
I loved it. It still sounds
now
so
that's
fresh.
funny you mentioned that, because that joint is Aretha chose it, and that was on the original Warner Brothers album, Cache album, that never came out.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So that's the second time a song from the record that never came out was done. I did it on Aretha. The other time is Nas saw me. I posted a video of a song from that album that I'm playing. This song called "If Only." It's a ballad, and it was very Charlie Wilson joint from that 1988 Warner Brothers record that never came out. Nas saw it, asked Hit Boy, who he was working with at the time, "Hey, listen to that." And so Hit Boy just called me. He's like, "Yo, is that available?" I was like, "Yeah, it was on a thing that never came out." So I ended up going in the studio with Hit Boy and doing that song from that Warner Brothers album with Charlie Wilson singing it. So that was a full circle moment for me. So that was 2021. So that made it onto Nas's King's Disease 2 album, my demo.
Brian, I could literally sit and talk with you for hours.
Forever.
Sure. There's so much more to unpack, but I would love to just extend an open invitation for when you have the new record to come right back.
Oh, yeah.
Preview it here.
For sure.
And as Chuck said, we celebrate your past, but we're super excited about your future.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
We love you from We Sound Crazy, bro. We really
I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. And it feels so good to just be appreciated.
Yeah. No, we appreciate you for real.
I know y'all like really feel me from a real
No, we
place.
know.
And that part, I could cry. I'm going to cry later in the car. But right now, that just means the world to me because, again, like I said, I don't get the recognition that those names do.
Yeah.
And so for people, but I do get people like you guys who care about the craft.
Yeah.
And that means a lot to me.
You're an inspiration to many of us, and to see you be so excited still
sir.
about what's happening now, not just what was happening back then.
Right.
Lets a lot of people know that it's a marathon. Like this is a up and down, but the greatness continues. Thank you for being who you are and sharing.
I appreciate that.
And speaking up for musicians, we see you online.
Yes.
You outspoken, bro. So come back. We want to debate with you. We want to talk music with you. You're always welcome here at We Sound Crazy.
30 plus years. So like sometimes I've been bottled up so long. People have a lot to say about, using the sample of Jaco and this and that. I'm like, okay, when you can make a sample turn into a whole song that's a fully realized thing, then you'll understand why it's so offensive to try to reduce what I did on there to just those 2 bars from that, because that's not what it is. Plus, it came to me in a way that was, I feel like, divine. Like that is, I don't throw that around. I'm not playing no games with that when I say that. Like that came to me in a way that a whole lot of other stuff didn't come to me like that. You know what I mean? I have to craft. I'm someone to even figure out. No, that one came in to me. You feel me? So like I don't devalue what that means. And so sometimes when I hear people talk about that, or even try to devalue it with the nasty stuff or that crazy stuff, no, we need to correct that. This is a real true. There's a reason why Kanye called me and said, I want to do those as gospel songs. And I said, okay.
See how you just dropped that Kanye card right as we're trying to wrap up? Don't do that.
Before we wrap, I definitely want to say one thing.
Go ahead.
This relates to the episode you guys did. Because a lot of my fans and people that support me, they said when I come on this thing, they wanted me to address this. I want to.
Please do.
So peep this. So when they ask about, when the question was asked, has Brian been as successful with other things post them?
Post SWV.
And the answer was no. Well, I would like to qualify what success really means. So for me, I'm a songwriter and producer first. Before I'm anything, I'm just a songwriter and producer. So the only thing you could ever hope for as a producer and a songwriter is to get your songs placed and get them out. Right? It's just real simple. So however you do that, get them out, get them placed, and get them known and used, is you're successful. If you're doing it.
Agreed.
So in my case, with the girls and how time changed and the circumstances changed, think of it this way. Most people would love for us to get back together and for the things to be the way that they were, right? That's just not how it is. Look how the landscape changed on all of us. It became all about Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys, Christina Aguilera. That's what the landscape changed to. And so even Boys to Men, who had been Boys to Men, couldn't be Boys to Men in that space. So I say to... And I know they didn't mean it maliciously at all. I get it. Yeah, none of us have been that since then. But you know what I have done that people don't know is I've kept going. So that's why you don't know records like my song 9 on Drake's Views album. Successful. It's a multi-platinum album. Or I did On the Way with Khalid. Very successful single. On that record, I'm co-writer on that joint. You feel me? Or Faith Evans joint that people don't even know. I'm a title track on there.
Tamar,
You feel me? Tamar joint. I'm on a lot of records that people just don't know. So I really encourage people to go to the iTunes, look at my playlist on there, and that involves records you might not have known that I did.
Yeah.
And even now, I'm still doing it, and that's the blessing of it all, is that I'm still out here doing it in a real way with original stuff, not just and being sampled is amazing, and being covered is huge.
Cha-ching.
Right. But one thing I want to say about being sampled and being covered, this is one thing that I think that separates me from the Timbalands and the Pharrells and a lot of those people that have the bigger names. How many of them can say that almost each one of their hit records have come back as other hit records?
Yes.
Can I name them? So you start with Right Here, that comes back as She Ain't You.
Yep.
Chris Brown, hit record.
Yep.
Rain comes back as Pulling Me Back. And comes back again as Coko Jones.
Several times,
You're Always on My Mind, as back as Baddest on Chris Brown and Young Blue. It's crazy, Weak back on JoJo's debut, 3 million sold.
Yeah.
So almost all my titles have been back in another form as hits. That almost never happens.
Yeah, looking at the list of hits.
I'm Swinging You out right now on Wale's current.
The receipts are crazy.
Right.
I would like to say my prediction, or what I would love to see, because you just said that, is I would love to see you lock in with Chris Brown.
I would love to.
Because he also has a very distinct voice, a character. Of course, he's sampled a lot and used them.
And I've been in with him.
But I mean, just like creating a body of work.
Tina Davis is a good friend. So she
would be insane.
A long time ago, she put me and him in together.
Okay.
Like right after his first success. Yeah. And we did a ballad that is dope that I took a sample of and made a whole nother song for Charlie Wilson. It's such a crazy, my world is crazy.
Your world is crazy, and We Sound Crazy, so you got to come back and share more of your world, because there's too much more it's a lot. Just to uncover.
There's a ballad that I have with me and Chris that I think you guys would appreciate. Let me just say that.
We want to be greedy over here. We want all the information, so you have to come back for part 2.
And I'm not mad, because I'll share it, because where else am I sharing that?
Here, We Sound Crazy.
You got it.
We're going to have a part 2 coming soon, but make sure you follow us on all platforms at We Sound Crazy and WeSoundCrazy.com. Click and subscribe below.
What song of yours do you want us to close this episode out with? It could be anyone that you mentioned. We love them all, so this is on you. No pressure.
I think Rain is appropriate because that gut punch that I had when it didn't make it on Brandy, to how it has been like so many times used. Yes. So that's, to me, like the universe telling me, we got you. The universe had my back. I'm just gonna say one more time, that Martha Wash to Lalah Hathaway to Brandy to SWV to the covers of it.
Yeah. To the sync usage and the
Kanye's and
the syncs. I mean, I'm thinking about, and then we got something we cooking. So stay tuned.
We ending with a smash, a masterpiece from a master.
Yeah, thank you to the legend Brian Alexander Morgan.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Man,
thank you guys.
Great.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Real, bro. Salute.
This is a good one. This is a good one, right?
This is an amazing one.
Until next week, We Sound Crazy, y'all. We out of here.
Peace.
We sound crazy.